Right, so I want to talk about speech to text in Jitsi Meet today. So who here knows about Jitsi Meet? What? Sorry? Yeah? So who here knows about Jitsi Meet? Okay, so it's not. Alright, so the Jitsi organization is a set of open source projects. We focus on video conferencing solutions. We're also a community of developers, so we have contributors all over the world. All right, so I joined Jitsi as part of Google Summer of Code. I was part I participated in 2016 and 2017, and afterwards I joined Atlassian. So quickly, what is Jitsi Meet? Jitsi Meet is a secure and scalable video conferencing solution for your browser or your mobile devices, so you can create a room, share the URL, and other people will be able to join, and you can have your meeting. So internally at Atlassian, we use it for our team collaboration tools, but other people can use it as well. So here is Edward Snowden using Jitsi Meet. You can also choose to do it. You can also use it yourself. So we host an instance over at meet.jit.c, but you can also host it yourself. Go to the GitHub repo and follow the instructions there if you want to host it yourself. So I want to quickly go over the Jitsi Meet, like a few projects in Jitsi Meet ecosystem. So the front-end application is also called Jitsi Meet. So it runs on most major browsers like Chrome and Firefox, and we also have an iOS and Android application. So the video bridge is a selective forwarding unit for the video streams, and as in the previous presentation, it's very CPU efficient, and the main limiting factor is bandwidth. So the most important project for the speech to text was Gigazi. Normally, it connects the SIP world with a Jitsi Meet conference, and it does this by joining as a participant to a meeting, and this way we were able to use it for the speech to text as well. So one other project is Jibri, which you can use to record a meeting and also stream it to a platform such as YouTube if your bandwidth cannot handle a lot of participants. All right, so now to the transcript part. So as I explained before, I took part in Google Summer of Code, and the goal of my project was to able to offer accurate transcripts of a meeting. So this allows you to not be able to have to write notes or something like that, and you can also search for them afterwards if you made a decision, for example, and you forgot. We also wanted to offer real-time subtitles so that hearing impaired people can still participate in the meeting. So to be able to do this, we had to choose a speech-to-text engine. We first looked at open source solutions, but we didn't find anything which met our constraints as of yet. So we had to choose for a closed source solutions, and we decided on using Google Speech API. So the way it works is that in the left you can see You can see a video conference with two Chrome browsers and then somehow Internet Explorer. And Jitsi is the fourth participant, which receives all the audio, and it can then forward this audio to the Google Cloud API. When the Google Cloud API returns the text of the audio, Jitsi can do a few things. So one thing we do is we send it back to the conference, and we can display subtitles or put it in the chat. We can also store all the results, and then at the end of the meeting, we can give a transcript of everything which was said. So I will just now show a video of an action. If the audio works.
You can see the subtitles at the bottom. You can also see that the results can be written in the chat. I will now kick the transcriber to end the conference. And clicking on the link, you can see the final transcript.
So I'm pretty sure you weren't able to hear the audio, but now you got a live demo of how it would look like if you were hearing impaired, for example, or were in the busy, maybe in the airport and you still had to go to a meeting. So you could see the subtitles which were displayed while I was talking. You could see that the transcripts are put in the chat, and at the end, well, there was a link where you can see the transcript. So this is what it looks like if you run it in Jitsi Meet. But you can also modify it to suit your own needs. So for example, my colleagues implemented something over it in our proprietary solution, which I will show now. And you can also see that it works for more than one person in a meeting.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey guys, Aaron can't make the meeting today, so I'm going to start the transcriber so he can catch up later.
Okay, cool. I'll follow the transcriptions live and clean up any issues that show up. Okay, opening that up. Okay, cool. I've got it open. So why don't we go around and do a little roundtable status update, and we can all just talk a little bit about what we're working on. I can start. So I did some testing on the flux capacitor today, and things are looking good. I want to spend a little bit more time on it this afternoon, but I think it should be pretty close. Lenny, how about you?
Yeah, I've been modifying the DeLorean. I almost have the instrumentation panel all set. Probably just need another couple days there. How about you, Yana?
Well, I've got an idea to turn a Mr. Coffee into a fusion reactor for a power source. I have some designs and I want to go over with you guys later.
Okay, great. Yeah, why don't we do that after this meeting, and then we can get back to work and sync up again tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
Sounds
All right,
good.
Great. See you guys.
Thanks.
All right, so you could see that we were able to, have some transcripts, which is nice. But the most important part is, of course, how accurate is it to, what was really said. So here is an example of one sentence in the meeting we had. So my colleague said, I was mostly cleaning up code in Jitsi and Jacovo for Calibri because I find that it's very hard to understand. So as you can see, the transcript which was returned was, it missed the first three words, and then it skipped words like Jitsi, Jacovo, and Calibri, which kind of makes sense because that's probably not used as much. And there's also some general mistakes like cold and it's, which is skipped. Right. So we experimented with a few different things, right? Yeah. And we noticed that actually, if you upload your meeting to YouTube, you get the most accuracy, about 3 out of 4 words which are correctly transcribed. So unfortunately, it's not. And the Google API was about 1 out of 2 words. All right. So in the future, we want to look into using Mozilla's Deep Speech and Common Voice project which are open source and which would allow you more freedom as a user, and which would also enable offline use. We also want to look into using contextual data, like when you're talking in the chat of Jitsi Meet, to try to see which words are commonly used and maybe see if those fit in the context. Right, so thank you for listening, and are there any questions?